YouTube, what's up, Red Hits? Doing another video for y'all. Before we get into this video, like, share, subscribe with your tribe. Hit that notification bell so you know that I'm doing another video. Hope everybody's having a great day. It's raining here in Atlanta, and it's been raining all weekend. So, I'm just chilling in the house, and I decided to do a video for y'all. Today's video is story time, how I ended up in Atlanta. So I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. Not born, but raised. I've been in Atlanta now a little over 3 years, maybe going on 4. It's been since 2017, so it's been a while. Anywho, so when I came to Atlanta, I came down here to party. I had just lost my job. I was working at AutoZone and I got laid off. And I really wasn't even that upset about it. So I took, my little severance pay. One of my friends had called me. He was seeking refuge from the hurricanes in Florida. Shout out to Barcelona, by the way. Proud of you, bro. Anyway, he ended up telling me he wanted to kick it in Atlanta and, party. So he asked, me to come down. So Atlanta, we partied the whole week. I got an Airbnb. And we were just doing our thing. And we had a wonderful time. And I think he left before I was supposed to leave. The night before I was supposed to leave, I had been drinking, I was tipsy. But I had a little bit of a nervous breakdown. And I remember I fell to my knees and I was praying. And I said, God, I don't want to go back to Memphis. And, at the time I was going through a lot of things mentally, and I just felt like, it was a lot of things in Memphis wasn't helping. I'll say that. And I remember crying profusely, just tears just rolling down my eyes. And I'm like, God, I don't want to go back to Memphis. I don't want to go back to that life. I don't want to go back. And I got myself together, and I kind of chopped it up to like one of those drunk cries. You know how them drunk cries be, right? You be drunk, you just be crying. So I woke up the next morning, pretty hungover, eyes kind of tight from crying all night. And one thing about me, I had a spiritual awakening about 6 years ago. And I began to hear my spirit guides. Now, I've learned that I am clairaudient. And clairaudient is where you can hear your spirit guides. You can hear things not of this world, right? Anyway, we'll get into that. But I woke up the next morning and I heard something say, stay in Atlanta. Now I'm thinking, I got a whole house in Memphis, right? At the time I was taking care of my mom and stuff like that. So it was like, I can't just pack up and leave. That's what I was thinking. But it told me again, it said, stay in Atlanta. And I'm like, how am I going to stay in Atlanta? Now, at the time, I had my severance pay. I was getting unemployment. So I had a little money coming in, I didn't have a whole lot, but I think I had, at that time, I had about a little bit over $600 or something like that right then and there. So I'm like thinking, nah, I can't stay in Atlanta. Then I heard something say, call the guy that owns the Airbnb and ask him, can you stay with him until you get on your feet? Now I'm thinking I'm losing my mind, because a few days before this, we were all in the kitchen. There was some more people staying there. And somehow they got in the conversation of, he doesn't let people stay long term. He just lets them stay like a week or two, and that's it. So I had already heard this man say that he does not let people stay with him long term. He had a couple people already staying long term, but they were the last ones. He wasn't doing anybody new or anything like that. So I'm thinking, I'm losing my damn mind. Now I know I just heard this man. I heard it. It said it again. It said, it gave me full instructions. It said, call him now and ask him, can you stay with him till you get on your feet? And I'm thinking, I ain't even got the money for all of that, because Airbnbs are high. So it came over me. It was strong. It was like, call him. Like I had no choice. So I got on the phone and I called him. I said, hey, in my mind, I'm losing it. Like, holy crap, I must have had too much to drink. You know what I'm saying? But I called him. So I'm like, hey, I was thinking about possibly staying here in Atlanta for a while. And I wanted to know if maybe I could stay to get on my feet. Maybe a couple months or something. So I'm knowing this guy is going to say, now I know you heard me in the kitchen the other night. I'm thinking, I just know he's going to say, no. But he took a deep breath and a long sigh. And he said, you know what? Give me $600. Now, at the time, I had a little over $600. I'm like, what? So, I say, okay. And I pay him. Like I think I cashed out him right then and there. And I thanked him. And I hung up the phone and I was confused because I'm like, I got a whole house in Atlanta and I just paid to stay with this guy. I haven't made any plans. I haven't made any plans to sell my house. I'll take care of my mom. I'm freaking out. I'm like, what am I doing? Long story short, I ended up calling my mom, my family, and everybody was kind of like, okay, because it was so abrupt. But everything ended up working out. I ended up selling my home. My mom was taken care of. Everything worked out for me to stay in Atlanta. Now, I went through hell for a while. I was really broke. I had a lot of issues that just popped up out of nowhere. It was rough, but it all worked out for me to be here. And what that taught me was to trust what you hear. Trust the universe. Trust God. Trust your angels. Because they will never steer you wrong. I never planned to come here. I was told to come here. I was here to party. I was planning on going back home. You know what I'm saying? But that didn't happen. And I ended up staying in Atlanta for a month. And I ended up going back to Memphis to get all my things. And the universe worked it out. worked it completely out where everything flowed for me to be here. And I remember seeing everywhere I would go signs that said, you belong here, you belong here, you belong here. And I was like, I'm really meant to be here. And now it's been almost, I want to say almost 18, like, yeah, 4 years. I would say about 4 years. And it's been a lovely thing. You know, I've had highs, I've had lows, but it's been a lovely thing. So I made this video to tell you, if you're hearing guidance, follow it. Because they want to lead you to your happiness. It took me a while to trust what I was hearing, because sometimes I thought I was just going crazy. I ain't even gonna lie. I'd be hearing stuff. And I didn't want to tell people because I didn't want people to think I was like schizophrenic or something. But I've always been able to hear this inner voice. And it's loud. And sometimes I can hear, sometimes it's faint. I can't really hear it that good. And that's usually when I'm like letting my mind consume me. I'm anxious, or, you know, I got a little negativity in there I need to filter out. But when I'm in alignment, my vibration is high, I'm thinking positive, and I'm in a good state, I can hear them well. And they be loud. So if you're hearing your guides, if you're hearing, follow. Because they only want to lead you to your happiness. You know what I mean? And back to clairaudient. Clairaudient is where you can hear inner voices and things like that. You can hear your angels, you can hear, and I've talked to other people that can hear. It kind of sounds like your own thoughts, but you can kind of tell because sometimes the way things are worded is not nothing you would like. You wouldn't say it like that, you know. When they told me to stay in Atlanta, it wasn't no chatter. It was like straight to the point. Stay in Atlanta. It was like, call the guy that, you know, stays, that owns the Airbnb. You know, they gave me full instructions, but it was nothing that, it's not the way that I would say it. So I knew that wasn't me saying this stuff. You know, like I wasn't thinking that in my head. And I'm very grateful for this gift, because this gift has, I've gotten a lot of instructions. That's how I ended up coming up with 1111 Spiritual, and knowing who to talk to and where to go, and because they guide me. They tell me where to go, and, you know, hey, talk to that person over there. Try this person out. And I have to, like, relinquish fear sometimes. But sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I should go here, or go there, or do this, do that. But it always works out. So, you know, if you're receiving guidance, I'm telling you, follow it. Follow it. It will lead you to your happiness. It will lead you to the things you've always desired in life. And I just wanted to tell my story of how I ended up in Atlanta. So, I'm here, and I enjoy every single day that I'm here. And I'm so glad that I did that. I'm so glad that they even guided me here, because I probably would have still been in Memphis. You know what I'm saying? I love my city, but I had gotten to a point where I had outgrown it. And it was time for me to go somewhere else. You know, a lot of times we think because we're raised somewhere that's where we're supposed to be. And there's so many other things we're supposed to be doing. You got to remember, you're supposed to be evolving, constantly moving forward. And if you feel that you've outgrown a location, then all you have to do is trust and leave. and go where you're being guided to go, because there's something there for you. And there is so much for me in Atlanta. And I just think back, like, what if I had been afraid and not trusted and just went back to Memphis? I would have probably been miserable and very unhappy, because everything was here in Atlanta for me. I don't even know how long I'm going to be in Atlanta. I might end up somewhere else. And if I wake up one day and they say, go to Florida, go to Canada, I got to go. I got to follow instructions. Because now I truly believe and I truly trust. And I've learned. So I just wanted to make this video story time. How I got here to Atlanta. Follow what you hear. Follow that guidance. Red Hits, once again, check out my clothing brand, 1111spiritual.org. That's the number 11, the word 11, spiritual.org. Peace.